Kilted
Balls.
balls.
Woohoo! Hey,
Yeah.
everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Kilted Balls podcast. This might be episode 130. I'm not
That
sure.
is awesome.
I think I'm going to get my hairs cut tomorrow. Look how long these bad boys are. And it's
Yeah.
when it gets long like this, it turns white. So I think I need to get it cut so it'll get dark again.
Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't think it was the beginning of the school year, so I didn't think it was time to get your hair cut yet.
Right, right. That's what the barber always
You're
tells
turning
me.
into a Mr. Macklem.
I know. And as well loved, I hope. I hope
Yes,
so.
I imagine so.
Yeah, I talked to my girl who's graduating and said, hey, when your sister graduated, my hair was crazy long because it was COVID time. Do you want me to have crazy long hair for yours? And she's like, no, I don't care. And I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to get it cut.
Okay.
Well, I just think I look better, and that's the image I want to present is me with short hair in general, right? Especially when we're doing graduation and VCon, and not
Yeah,
that
exactly.
I feel like I look bad with long hair. I just think I look more professional with short hair.
Yes. See, so
And
that's good.
I like that image better. So, just kind of the way it is. So, how has your week been, Kilted?
My week's been pretty good. It's been moving along and all that good stuff. Got to hang out with Gina's dad today for quite a bit. He rode with us during all of our adventures, so
Wow.
that was fun. And we hit the what did I tell him? It was the triple play. We hit 3 Goodwills in one day.
Ooh.
All successful. So it was pretty cool. So it's
Successful. That's
exciting.
nice because when I was visiting, every Goodwill trip was not successful.
Yes.
So
we had 3 successful
in
ones.
fact, I went to JCPenney. I don't think I talked about this on the podcast. We went to Goodwill. All of them were crappy. And then I went to JCPenney and got like all of these pants for like $5. And people at school are like, those pants look good. And I'm like, well, they're tight. And they're like, right, you should wear tight pants. You shouldn't wear loose pants. And I'm like, you shut your damn mouth. Like loose pants is where it's at. Pants. And then they're like, and pleats are the worst. So like today I wore pleated pants to work, and I made sure everybody saw my pleated pants, and they're like, what are you doing?
I can see you wearing pleated pants.
Hell yeah. I rock those
but that was like
I rock them.
I remember one time I was selling the sticky roller, and it was a younger couple, but they had kids. And the one girl's like, are you wearing skinny jeans? And I'm like, I don't know. Are skinny jeans cool? And she said, no. I'm like, I sure I am then.
I'm sure that's the way it is. Sure it is. Oh my gosh. So somebody, and it's weird because sometimes I'm in the mood for these things and sometimes I'm not. Yeah. But a buddy on TikTok the other day was like, hey, 3,000 push-ups in May challenge, blah, blah, blah.
I saw that.
Yeah. And I was like, are you challenging me? And they were like, yeah, we're challenging you. And I'm like, okay. And normally I'm just like, whatever, I don't care. But this time I was like, you know what? I actually think people might think that I won't do that.
So how many do you have so far?
If my count is right, which it may be off a little bit here and there because I've been keeping pretty piss poor track.
Yeah.
I think I'm at 790.
That's awesome.
So for May. So I got some time. Look, I should be. I don't understand how this works. Oh, because actually I'm off by 100, I think. So I think I have more than that, but I would rather err on the side of caution. So I have 890 right now. And I will finish the day with a minimum of 30 more. So I'll have 920 minimum.
That's awesome. I saw that and I thought about it, but then I didn't.
I had a feeling that they were thinking, yeah, right.
And then just caught you right.
One of the buddies, as I was driving by him. He was outside and he like fell down and did two. And he's like, two.
That's awesome.
That's probably all he's done is those
Yeah,
two.
yeah, he's at 2 now.
But I was like, all right, I can do this.
Hmm.
And so, I'm almost in the mood where I'll do 100 tonight. And then I can say I've got 1,000 already. So
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. That's super awesome.
I know. Well, and it's just like a little something, but I do feel like my chest is getting bigger and I'm kind of vain. So
Mhm.
people don't know that necessarily, but like I sit there and I'm like, my chest is not as big as it used to be. And I'm kind of feeling self-conscious. And so now I'm like, all right, there's muscles back there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Like I like that. And tonight I watched a little bit of the documentary. We haven't watched it for a while, but the Chris Hemsworth one about
Hmm.
memory. And they were
Yeah,
talking about how important it is when you're in middle age to like work out regularly and not just work out, like, but do things that'll work out and challenge your mind,
okay.
like learning to dance, right? Or climbing a mountain or doing something like that. Now, obviously, when I'm working out because of all the sports I do, like that's always a mental challenge. And I was actually thinking, I'm like, I think like people all the time are like, when are you going to retire? I think I got asked that twice today.
Hmm.
I'm like, I don't know why I would, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
like, we've talked about that a lot before, but one of the things I was thinking about watching that episode is like my gig is constantly challenging my thinking. Like I'm
Yeah.
always having to work on my brain. And I'm like, okay, not just like the fact that I could retire, but I think I would be bored. But this is like an easy way to keep my brain challenged all the time, like
Yeah.
constantly.
That's awesome.
Right. And so I'm like, why would I give that up? Like they're basically paying me to keep me healthy.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like I don't understand the negative.
Like if you retired, would you let someone pay your amount to stay healthy, to stay in shape and to keep your mind going?
Right.
Like,
Like I would probably
okay.
pay somebody that.
Yeah,
Like I'd
exactly.
be like, I gotta go get a gym membership and
Uh-huh.
not just a gym membership, but like a fancy one. And you know,
Yeah.
but instead you're paying me. I don't see how it's like bad.
Hmm. It
And
is, and as long as you're still enjoying it, then why would you consider anything different?
I mean, today I was listening to Big Balls by AC/DC in class, and everybody was singing it and jamming,
Hmm.
and
Great song.
right? Yeah,
And
because
why didn't you use that as your theme today at the
oh my
beginning of
gosh,
the
because I
episode?
didn't think about it until just now. I got big balls, but I did put the lab up that I was having kiddos work on, and
Hmm.
it was I think I said the lab like balls with BALLZ.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I was thinking, you and I do a lot of things that actually help our brain health, like doing the podcast or playing Rocket League or playing Dungeons and Dragons or
Hmm.
going disc golfing. Like we're constantly trying to stimulate those parts of our brain, not because that's because of mental health,
Yeah.
but because that's just what we do.
Hmm.
So, the one thing I really would like to work on that I'm just horrible, and I can't get around it, is I do not eat enough fruits and vegetables.
Yeah.
Like ever. Like today there were two salads on the table. We got Zaytuns, which is a great Mediterranean place.
Hmm.
And it came with two big salads, and I never like crossed my mind to have any. If it had been tabbouleh, I would have, but
Yeah.
they didn't give me tabbouleh, and so I was just like, yeah, whatever. And so instead, I ate this huge plate of rice and chicken shawarma and hummus and stuffed grape
Well,
leaves and lamb.
hummus is chickpeas and olive oil.
Yeah, yeah. So I had that going
Uh,
for me,
Yeah.
right? Just like I said that to myself when I was having nachos. I was like, look at all this salsa I'm having,
See,
right?
there you go. That's
Now,
awesome.
in my defense, and loyal listeners, you should know that part of my philosophy is that I don't eat a very large percentage of the vegetables, but I eat such a huge quantity of food. There has to be some kind of vegetable matter in there at the correct amounts. So
There you go.
Like today, I ate a bowl of that and I was like, I'm full. I had Qdoba and stuff for lunch, so I'm not really hungry. And my wife's like, are you kidding me? I bought all that food. And I'm like, well, I just had one bowl and, one bowl's probably enough. And she's like, you normally have six. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, well, that's probably true.
Guess I can eat some more.
I guess I'll eat some more. So I had another bowl. Well, and I found the baked kibbe, so how couldn't I?
Oh yeah. Yeah, just the parsley on your chicken shawarma is gonna add up.
Right? Because if you eat so much chicken shawarma, heck yeah.
Gonna
So
be
yeah,
there.
so
Oh,
that's my
I need some
conquest.
Mediterranean food.
So sad, so sad. Yeah. So anyway, memory thing is a big thing. We don't talk about that a lot, but that's
Yeah,
always been people, we talk a lot about fears and stuff. That is one of my fears I've always had, right?
yeah.
I really pride myself on my brain and how it works and its problem solving abilities. That's always been central to my identity. Like people are like,
Hmm.
"Oh man, what would you do if you couldn't work out or do this?" I'm like, "I'd be so happy." Like if I could just sit and be a vegetable.
Yeah.
Except part of that is, well, I always have my computer and I always have my books, and losing my brain, I think, would be catastrophic, except for the fact that I wouldn't know I lost my brain.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but the thought of it now scares me.
Hmm.
I'm like,
Well, it's
oh,
funny talking about just the brain work and everything. So today I found a couple really cool books for Ollie, so I was excited to get him those. And so today I was like, okay, like instead of reaching out, like, I knew we'd be recording tonight and you
yeah,
have been going for your walks we usually start playing Rocket League lately when Gina's hopping in the bath. But I'm like, tonight, Ollie, we're reading. We're reading 15 minutes to a half hour. So he and I sat on the couch and we each read our books, and I'm gonna try to start making that a habit. So he gets used to, not just watching TV and
yeah.
playing on the thing, but
That is so interesting to me. Listeners, if you have not heard this in the last, I don't know, 15 episodes in a row, something's wrong with your brain that you're not connecting the dots. But I shit you not, for the last week and a half, I'm like, is Jer reading enough to Ali and Momo? Are they spending time? Are they seeing him read? Because Audible books aren't enough. And I'm like, I got to remember to ask him, are they reading? Are they getting into that? Are they making it a habit? Because so much research shows that, first off, just having books in the house
Mhm.
helps kids so much. But then reading is so much better. And I was like, you know what? I didn't pay attention while I was there. So I'm like, I don't know if they've got kid books for Momo or if they're doing that, or if Ollie's like always on his thing. And I kept thinking, I got to talk about that. I got to talk about it. And oh my gosh, you're doing it like
That's
as I
funny.
was thinking it and talking
Hmm.
about it.
We go through stages. We'll go
But
like,
we're connected, baby.
yeah, oh yeah, no, us, we're connected for sure. I mean the books and the
Oh, yeah.
kids. So we'll go through, like, I'll find a cool book or I'll read them, I'll read them some books. Of course, Ollie's a bit older, but he'll
Mhm.
usually sit and listen and have a good time too. And then, well, like I found some old choose your own adventures. So
Oh,
I was
yeah.
reading those, and then they'd get to pick who gets to pick what the next thing was. So that was fun. But that's more like me telling a story, because it's not like Ollie was following along, or
Oh,
obviously
right.
Morgan, being a lot younger, is not following along. But today we were both just reading, and I was like, if you hit any words that you're not good at, and it was a 8 pack of Pokemon, like
Oh,
chapter
wow.
Pokemon books. So it's something that he's interested in, and it gets him, and also a couple other books. So I'm pretty
Speaking
excited.
about Pokemon, I saw a meme the other day and I don't remember um, what the meme said,
Hmm.
except that it was about Pokemon on Antique Roadshow.
So someone brought their Pokemon to
Someone
Antique
brought their
Roadshow?
Pokemon
Okay.
collection to the Antique Roadshow. And like it
That's
showed a picture of it,
awesome.
and the meme obviously had words and stuff about it. And
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Pokemon was after us.
Yeah,
I'm like,
Antique Roadshow.
I'm like, so what are we?
That's hilarious.
Well, yeah,
Well, like the
man.
old Magic cards that we have, people would be like super surprising for people, for sure.
literally within arm's reach right here.
Well, even like playing with Matt, you know, when I was first getting to know him and like randomly finding dual lands in the bottom of boxes and stuff, it like blew his mind. Like, oh, look at that underground sea. I was looking for that.
I wondered where my plateau was. Why do you have all these plateaus? Now I had a red and white deck. It was a thing.
I took it apart. I stuffed him in this box.
I don't know. Do you know how much those are worth? The question isn't do I know? The question is do I care?
Yes.
I care. You know
Yeah.
what they're worth to me? They're worth not my red and white deck. That's why they're at the bottom of the box.
Yeah.
So,
No, I might have a new red and white deck, and they're going to be worth a lot more to me.
then they'll be worth a lot more. If somebody were playing with me on a regular basis, they'd have a lot more worth. Right now, I don't play Magic a lot. So, though I have some buddies who are always playing Commander, and they're always asking me, and I need to probably play a little.
That's cool.
Kind of lazy because I do so many other fun things.
Well, you'd have to make all new decks. You have some pre-built Commander decks, but they're not. You're going to get stomped. They're not.
The last time we played, they tried to stop me. It did not.
And they didn't. What
think
Commander deck were you playing?
My Angels and Dragons one or whatever.
Oh, you have one that you built from way back when.
No,
okay.
I think it's mostly stopped. But they were like one of the players was like, "Hey, you've got to stop him. Like that thing's going to be bad. You've got to stop him." And then they would keep fighting each other, and then I just kept him. I
they
might have ended up
losing. You're like the new guy,
maybe. But they kept saying, "Get him," and every time they would try, I would just do something big. Yeah. And then eventually, I think I can't remember if I won or if I came in second out of the 4, but it was rough for them.
That's awesome.
They were like, that deck is too powerful. Don't let it, because they know all the decks.
Yeah. Okay.
But every time they would realize like that everybody else was dangerous too, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, any of those decks,
And as long as I was playing it chill, it's like Survivor.
Yeah.
They would kind of hit somebody else, and then I would like come in and clean up and come back, and
But that was like my old white-blue deck. Like, you're putting out another flying wall? Like, I don't want to lose my guy against you, and then all of a sudden start some crazy combos. Like, okay, all your guys are dead.
Everybody's dead. You're all going home.
All your decks are gone. I still have 20 cards left in my deck.
All your castles belong to me.
Those are some good times.
Those are good times.
Well, speaking of games, I did find I'm super, I was like, yeah, I would say super excited about this game because I'm always looking for games at the Goodwill. Yeah. Sometimes I'm finding them for pieces and parts. Like I'll break them up. Like for the miniatures, it's worth it to buy for the minis, or for like the playing pieces to be able to use like gold pieces, things like that. But this one today was aged 4 to 84. So it was it was called, I think, campground or camping, something like that. But anyways, it looked like, a regular game board, blah, blah, blah. But the questions that you were asked on the card, depending how old you were, was the question that you have to answer. So if you're 4, there was a picture of a bear, and it says, what's this a picture of? And it gave you 3 choices. And then the next stage up was, what is a baby black bear called? And then the third one was, what was the third one?
What's the Latin name for bear?
That was the 4th one. That was for the oldest person. What's the genus species for a bear? And what
Ursa Major?
It's Ursa something. Is it Ursa Major? That's
the Big Dipper.
Yeah, that's I was like, that doesn't sound right. But so yeah, I'm excited. That's something that I think Morgan can almost play. And I'm going through a lot of my games because we're moving a lot of stuff around at the warehouse. So I'm putting away like games for older people, because they're probably not going to be played for a few years, but like any games that are 6 to 8 and up, like I kept out my Battleship and my Life and Monopoly and stuff like that I think Ollie's almost ready.
I keep forgetting about the warehouse. I saw that you sent some Marcos, and so I went to watch them the other day because I was like, oh, I'm behind on my Marcos because it's not like I don't get notifications anymore. And I started to watch it, and like all of the sound kept screwing up. Like all my Bluetooths were like messing it up. And then somebody started talking to me, and then I went back to it, and somebody started talking to me, And so like the third time, I'm like, screw this, I'll do it on a different time. And so I never watched any of them again. But I'm assuming the Marcos were about the warehouse, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Is
you
it
have to
looking
watch it. It's
good?
pretty exciting. It looks better than I thought, and you'll hear Jason talk about like it made him think like I might buy something that I can fix up a little bit. Like just by him seeing, like him knowing my basic knowledge of what I can do and things like that, but him seeing what I've done, he's just like, oh wow, like just the basic things that you've done makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah, probably makes everything
I
crazy.
know I was going to reach out to him today to see what had happened because he was talking about buying one of the tiny houses
Oh really?
in that neighborhood he's been staying at. Yeah.
Because he's been staying in the same neighborhood, right?
Here and there. He's staying in a few different spots, but he's stayed in that neighborhood a couple of times. So his thing was, well, in this, I think he said it was like right around 150. So he can get a place for 150, and whether he keeps it or if he rents it out or wherever he decides what to do, the 150 is going to be much further ahead, than doing what he's currently doing
Yeah, for sure,
and
for
have a
sure.
little bit more of a home base.
Well, and just having
Yeah,
a
I was
tiny
excited.
house will be super cool, I think. I think
Yeah,
you'd probably
and
really
it's
like that.
it's it's within range of Disney where people would stay there and go to Disney.
Nice.
So you have that aspect of it.
Yeah. Heck
So
yeah.
having a rental, I would say, is not a bad thing.
I've really thought about getting into the Airbnb business, but then I'm like, nah. And really, I need to get all my rentals taken care of, but I'm busy. And when I'm not busy, I'm lazy from being busy.
Hmm.
It's
That's the
a
thing.
it's a horrible thing. Horrible thing.
Hmm.
So yeah. Big stuff coming next week. We're gonna be together. We got
It'd be
VCon coming
awesome.
up. So
I'm
we
so
have
excited.
one episode before VCon, people.
Hmm.
And you should give us some suggestions about what you want to do. We've already talked about making like some montages of VCon,
Yep.
but let us know if you want like a tour, if you want us just to debrief and download. We'll kind of formulate more about our plans
Hmm.
next podcast.
Yeah.
But
I think last time we were just so excited and there was and there's going to be a lot going on again. But
yes.
yeah, I think we can do a little bit more for our listeners and
Well, and the other thing is, I don't know how familiar you are with Minnesota, which is where it was last year, but I'm way more familiar with Indy than I am Minnesota.
hmm
I've been to Minnesota a few times, but Indy, crap, I've been to that convention center, half a dozen times,
yeah,
right?
exactly.
I was just there last year doing
Hmm.
stuff. So,
Yeah, and that's Indy's a spot besides the gaming conventions and things like that. I used to go to 2, 3 times a year for my
yeah,
shows. So, I know some good spots to eat where we might have to go a little bit off the beaten path, but that'll be cool. And
yeah, it's just more like our backyard, right?
mhm.
So that'll
Indy's
be
always
cool.
going to be near and dear because it's the first place I ever had a dragon's milk.
Wait, where was?
Indianapolis was
Nice, nice.
on draft. It was very exciting.
Oh, see, that's great. Dragon's milk is good, especially if you get it right from the dragon's tit. That's so good.
Exactly.
So heck yeah. So yeah, people, give us some feedback, shoot us some comments, hit us up on Twitter. Speaking
Mhm.
of Twitter, we had horrible technical difficulties last week, if you guys saw the podcast. And then it carried over to the fact where I put all the videos up, but I never sent the link out on Twitter. I literally, you even said something to me. You were like, hey,
Mhm.
you didn't do this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, shoot, I didn't do that. But here's the
I
crazy
don't think that was
thing.
the thing. You said, yes, I did.
Yes, I did. Um, but here's the crazy thing. We got views on it. Twitter didn't make any difference.
Nice.
Didn't make any difference to it. It was still doing its views and doing its thing. So I just
Good.
thought that was funny that it didn't change it. So
Thank you, loyal listeners.
thank you, loyal listeners.
Oh, and if anyone is from or has been to Indy, like anything that we may be missing out on, I would love to hear that too. Because it's not like we know there could be like a place we walk by every single time we're there.
Right.
It's like the best in the world.
And if you're going to be an indie, like not just for VCon, if you're just going to be there and you want to hang out, you want to have a shout out, you want to go get a beer or a boba tea or something,
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be there. And the whole thing for us is networking and meeting people and getting ideas and going crazy. And so, that'd be freaking terrific. So
Yeah.
reach out to us.
Mm-hmm.
So
And if you listen and you're not watching this, if you're not sure what we look like, I will be the guy in the kilt. So
I do not have a kilt. I am still waiting to get with the kilt people to interview them and get
that'd be
fitted
cool.
for a
That would be
kilt.
cool.
Maybe they'll be an indie. That'd be awesome.
Be super awesome.
Mhm.
Well, we've talked about, well, I don't think that's going to work out. I was gonna say we were talking about going to Gen Con. At least Jamie's been talking about it.
Well, I'll have to look at my schedule.
I think it's the weekend of our class reunion.
I'll probably be at my class reunion.
Although it could work out. We could go like Thursday, Friday.
Oh yeah. I would not mind that. I wouldn't mind that at all. Um, there was something I was just thinking, and then the class reunion threw me off.
Uh-oh.
Dang it. Buying it. But yeah, well, cool beans. I'm excited
be
for all of
awesome.
it. We're gonna have a good few weeks here coming up. It'll be a good
Mhm.
time. So
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, we're always growing and learning. And I think that VCon is going to be different than last year. And I'm trying to go in without any expectations,
mhm.
but I think it's going to be super awesome. I mean, it seems like it's going to be more business oriented. It doesn't seem like it's going to be as long, like
Yeah,
as far as what's going on, but maybe there's more stages. I have no idea. But like you said, we're networking and having fun and just meeting
yeah.
people and being out there.
It's gonna be terrific. And honestly, I'm a sucker for conventions, business conventions and conferences and all that
Yeah.
jazz. I think I've learned so much and pull so much out of it. So I'm super excited to kind of see, what we can learn there and what we can get out of it. So
Yeah, exactly.
I think that would be terrific. So
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
yeah, I think so. Well, loyal listeners, we're gonna get out of here. If you have stuff for VCon, let us know. Um, I think it's gonna be awesome. I think it's gonna be
Mhm.
sweet.
Yeah,
So
we'll have to talk about it more next week too.
we will kind of set the plans and let everybody know kind of what we're doing and what's gonna be going down. So
Hmm.
until then, work on yourself and be the best you can be. This is Ballbuster signing off.
But the Dragon Jerry, love you all.